Hey there, beautiful Cancer. Come on in. Let's do your energy forecast for June 2nd to the 8th. We're going to dive in right away this week using, once again, my lucky charms. And so these charms are just like pulling an oracle card. I'll just reach in, grab a charm, and it's going to talk to me about whatever your overarching energy is for the week ahead. And so for you this week, we have, oh, look at this. We have a tulip. We have a pretty little flower here as the tulip. And I really feel like this represents things coming up. So tulips to me, they're a very springtime flower. So this is things starting to come up from seeds you've planted previously. I do feel the sense of new growth for you this week. I do feel like it's bright, it's colorful, it's positive, as being represented by these beautiful spring flowers here. And I really want you to lean into that energy because I do feel like this is something that you've been slogging at for a while. And so you've been, planting, watering, and tending to these seeds for some time. And I do feel like moving forward through this week, you start to see some of those seeds begin to sprout. Now let's take it over to the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. This is a deck by one of my mentors, Sean Leonard. We're going to break your week down just a little bit further. I'll pull 3 cards from this deck, sort of representing the beginning, middle, and end of your week here, Cancer. All right. So what do we have for you at the beginning of the week? It's all about the pipe ceremony and prayer. So I do feel like it's almost like the sense that I'm getting here is in order to see your seeds begin to sprout, the one sort of missing ingredient, if you will, I do feel like you've got, the watering and the sunshine and the fertilizer and all that. But the one thing that's missing is including the magic of the divine. And so I would encourage you to work hand in hand with the divine in order to help these new seedlings grow as strong as they possibly can. And it's really about just allowing yourself to hand that over to the creator, however you recognize that energy, whether it's a collective consciousness or God or goddess or whatever works for you, whatever your belief system is leaning into that belief system and handing things over to them to some extent. Of course, we still have to do the work. We still have to, hoe the rows and do the watering. But there's a divine sense of, just magic taking over, and where we sometimes don't know how things have happened and where the force within has come from. And here it is growing these, like I've just planted these seeds and I've tended to them so long. And oh my God, look where they're going. I didn't expect this is bigger and better than I thought. And you get that by handing it over to divine. So every time you're worried about it, keeping in mind the energy coming in is the energy that you've got going out, right? So if what you want is coming in is that wonder, that surprise, that pleasure, that joy, then you need to hand that over to the universe. And every time you start to worry or be concerned about it, go, no. I handed this over to the divine and I know they've got it. I know that whatever's in store is going to be for my greatest and highest good. So I don't have to worry or be concerned. Right? I can be excited for what's coming down the road, what the universe is bringing in, because I've handed it over. And every time I worry about it, I'm just going to send out a silent prayer to my team saying, hey, can you take this on for me, please? Right? That's your missing ingredient. Okay. And then look at this. For the middle of the week, we have the Milky Way, and it's all about your spiritual journey, the spirit road that's in front of you. Now, your journey and my journey are not going to look alike. There may be similarities in your journey and somebody else's journey, but they're not going to be identical. There's no way. We are very unique individuals. And our humanness, this sort of meat sack, makes up part of it. But our divine relationship that we have with the Creator is very much another large part of it. And your relationship is not my relationship. You may recognize that energy differently than I do. But your way doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just not my way. My way doesn't mean it's wrong, just not wrong. It's not right for you. So I do have this sense that with all of these sort of seeds now sprouting and you sort of handing things over to the divine, it's almost like you're stepping onto a wider, more clear path that has become your spirit road. You're finding your way on your spiritual journey and whatever that means for you. And I do feel like this handing it over at the beginning of the week is the start of that journey on that road. I do feel like by the middle of the week, you're already getting this sense of, oh, this is why people hand it over to the divine. This is what it means to move forward in trust and faith. All right? Because amazing things happen when we hand it over to our divine team, because we as human beings, we think we're all that and we're not. by any stretch of the imagination. And within us as human beings, we sometimes box ourselves into with our belief system of what is and what is not possible, whereas the divine knows that we are limitless, right? The possibilities ahead of us are limitless, and we need to lean into that understanding and that belief in order to welcome in that limitless, right? So you know how you planted those seeds, and maybe one of those seeds was for a beautiful vine that you thought, oh, this is going to look lovely growing up the side of my house with these pretty little flowers. And that's all you expected of it. And then you handed it over to the divine and said, you do with it what you will. And now this vine, is covering up beautifully the side of your house and over the trellises. And it's gorgeous and it's beautiful and it's breathtaking. And it's far more than what you could have ever imagined, simply because you let the divine have their say, have their part in the journey. And I do feel like this is part of your spirit journey. This is part of your spirit road. All right. And then, look at this. At the end of the week, you have the tobacco sacred medicine. One of the 4 sacred medicines, according to Indigenous beliefs, is tobacco. And tobacco here is all about reciprocation. So it's that whole of what you're giving out is what you're getting back, right? So when you're putting out trust and faith, the universe is going to give you back things to be trusting and faith, believing in that faith for, right? So it's doubling down on that trust and faith that you've had in the divine, because you're getting that back. It's being shown back to you in a beautiful way. And this is a very sacred journey that you're on, which is why I believe the tobacco card has come up now. I do believe that for those of you here, Cancer, that are going to resonate with this reading, what you're understanding is that maybe this spiritual path is fairly new for you, or maybe there's a new direction that you're headed in. And by the end of the week, it's almost like the universe is rewarding you for your openness to that journey, right? And it all started because you planted seeds, could be weeks or months ago, that you are now seeing come to fruition. And by handing over sort of the development of that to the divine, you're being given so much more than you could have ever imagined. And by the end of the week, that trust and faith that you've put into the divine is coming back to you. All right. I hope this makes sense to you here, Cancer. If it does, please leave me a note in the chat box below. I do try to respond to every single person that comments or leaves me any sort of emotion or emoticon. Anyways, if you'd like to know more about me, look me up at leeshanks.com on my website, or you can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Intuitively. I hope you all have a blessed week. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to look up your forecast for the month of June, which is out now. And I hope you all have an amazing, amazing week ahead. Take care. Blessed be. This is Intuitively signing off.